This is the story of 30 kids who gathered for a final project after 18 months at Full Sail University.
Pretty stoked about this.
This is their last film before graduating and going off to the real world. So much needs to happen for this project to get done. And working with new people can always bring problems, but also answers. Yes, you can learn a lot. This story shows camera, lighting, makeup, wardrobe, art, sound, talent, grips, electrics, directing, and so much more coming together for the final project of Sanitarium. We'll start with grip and electric because they're the first people to get on set and start setting up. Matt Hurst is electric, in charge of power, so he was running 5-wire band and distributing power for the whole shoot for all 4 days. It was a lot of work, but Tex could handle it. Key grip Dustin Spain is in charge of getting all the stands and mounts ready for the day, and he's also in charge of a whole grip crew. John Malance on key gaffer is in charge of getting the lights on the stands on time, and together these guys were on top of things and always ready. Good crew. The camera department was on top of things, but they had to be if they wanted to get 98 shots in 4 days. Ryan Sullivan was camera operator, Nate Lewis, first AC, Andy Sankovic, second AC, and Spencer Rubel, loader. The 4 of them really worked well together, listening and helping one another. As a camera operator, Ryan really needed to trust Nate and Andy to help him out with dolly movements, shots, focusing, and just moving the camera from place to place.
Camera's moving.
Since we were just talking about camera, let's talk about Vince Bearden, the director of photography, the guy in charge of telling the camera team where to go and what to do.
Like that, so let's have the diagonal with the letters up and out.
He did a great job of taking Ben's dream and making it real. As a director of photography, you are responsible for the camera and look as much as you are responsible for the lighting and the feel. Vince had to do the best that he could working with the camera team, the lighting team, the makeup team, and Ben, the director. He had some trouble, but overall he made it look easy by making sure he knew what he wanted and delegating correctly. But he can only do so much with camera and lights. Tabitha had to help Vince out with makeup and special effects. Together, they made a great feel and look for this film. In order to make Ben's dream a reality, he was going to need something more than lights or camera. It was blood. Tabitha was in charge of makeup and special effects, and boy did she have a lot to bring to the table. Tabitha and her team were responsible for 8 talent, makeup, and effects every day on set. And this film would not be the same without her or her blood that she made. Not only was Tabitha having fun with her effects, she also had a lot of fun on set.
Alright.
Hi.
Tabby.
But who didn't?
Yes. That's what we're all talking about.
Sound consisted of Paul Runco and the 2 Mike D's. There wasn't much sound for this film, but Paul Runco knows what he's doing and was ready for anything. Mike Daniel was boom operator, getting every sound he could inside and on location, while Paul was mixing it up. Not only does a film need good sound, but a film crew needs good food, and that's where Scott Stromquist comes into play. He was in charge of craft services. He's the guy responsible for having lunch ready every day, exactly 6 hours into the day. And if it's not ready, it could screw up the timing of everything. The lunch was on time and hot every day, and Scott even cooked it himself. Right on. Rogelio Mosquedo was VTR, and very important so that the script supervisor, Jocelyn Turner, and Ben, the director, could see what was happening on camera. Roger and Jocelyn were in charge of continuity, and they were on it because our shoot was continuous.
End of day 3. Woo! Got our.
Last but not least, we have the director and his assistants. Jeff Landry, second assistant director,
Right now I feel great, dude.
was responsible for getting the talent to and from set safely and on time. He was also responsible to make sure that they got anything they needed while on
I
set.
told them they are under Tabitha's control.
First assistant director, Steve Jimenez, was a very big role in this production.
Rehearsal is up!
He was responsible for the scheduling and timing of the shots, and he tells the crew what to do and where to be. He had a lot to deal with trying to achieve Ben's dream while limiting him to just 4 days, not trying to hinder Ben from getting the shots that he needed or wanted. On top of all the stress of scheduling the shots, he also had to schedule the talent, all within 4 days with talent coming in at all different times. But because of his good scheduling, we got all 98 shots within our 4 days.
I'm just gonna have to juggle.
Ben Brainerd, writer, director of Sanitarium. Ben did the best that he could to bring his vision to life. He worked closely with many people on this production to achieve it. Ben, Vince, and Steve worked very closely on lighting plots, storyboards, camera plots, blocking, and much, much more. This was Ben's first time working with Vince and Steve so closely, and at certain times, things got a little hairy, but they all managed to work it out. Ben really couldn't have had this come true without the help of all the people on this crew. So there you have it, a crew of 30 in 4 days. After 18 months of Full Sail, this is Sanitarium. The first 35mm film these kids will work on without their teachers, and it's their final project at Full Sail. They have taken what they've learned and put it to use here. All these different people with all these different talents coming together to make one big piece of art. And now it's over.
That's a wrap!
So, will there be another?
What are you gonna call it? Sanitarium 2? Sanitarium 2, Electric Boogaloo, baby.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do sound for the second one. I'm gonna be a dead body too if they ask me to be.
It's all movie magic.
I'd say there's a good chance. We can never know, man.
Sanitarium the sequel?
Sanitarium 2, I was saying...
I don't really know, everyone's kind of dead.
No, I'm gonna come back, and my twin brother, who's actually a nice psychiatrist, and he actually brings... It's like a love story. It's like a When Harry Met Sally kind of thing.